Hey, welcome to the Morning Mix podcast on National Fall in Love Day.
Yeah, it's your first love day.
First love day. First love day. That's what it is. First love day.
Literally.
I've never gotten it right.
No.
I've said it different every single time, but it is first love day.
Are you drunk?
I might be, and I'm online buying a bunch of stuff, which many of you did. That and much more happening right now. We love you on the Morning Mix podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Pete's. Few things start your day better than a good coffee. That's why Pete's hand roasts their coffee from a specific selection of high-quality beans. And they don't just put those beans into anyone's hands. Pete's trains their roasters for 10,000 hours so they can master the roast that gives you the most. Pete's Coffee. Coffee for coffee people. Find Pete's online or at your local retailer.
Snoop D-O-double-G is terrified of horses. Mm-hmm. That's right. Snoop Dogg recently revealed, I've been in scenes with ostriches, iguanas, all kind of S. Ain't never been in a scene with a horse. Like, get that mother smucker away from me. Snoop Dogg is terrified of horses. What are you terrified of? Text it to us at 312-233-1019. Me, I'm terrified of spiders. The number one response. Yeah. Spiders. Everybody, spiders.
And this is spider season, man.
That's right.
It's so bad.
Similarly, 773, snakes and rats. All right, Indiana Jones. Watch out. 630, I'm terrified of my wife. Okay. lots of options and variety here, right? 219, I'm terrified of yellow jackets. Now, do we mean the bee or just what people wear sometimes in the fall? It's hard to say. We don't know. Frogs. It's pathetic, actually. 815, frog. 630, I'm terrified of Chucky. Yes, the doll, but also, by the way, death. But terrified of Chucky. 630.
Chucky
630. Yeah, Chucky can what?
He can bring you death.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
630, what are you terrified of? Oceans. Screw them.
There's a lot of bad stuff in there, man.
Yeah, forget about it. It is weird when I see movies and stuff where there's a scene where they're like on the ocean and they pan around and you can't see anything but water. Ooh.
Oh, it's scary.
Yeah, forget about
it.
it.
See the movie Open Water? Oh,
no thanks.
No.
That's
If you're
why.
scared of of oceans, don't.
Yep, no thanks.
Yeah.
What are you scared of? 224, the root side of an overturned tree in the woods.
Okay.
It's filled with all sorts of creepy crawlies and stuff like that. That's gross. 262, I'm terrified of fuel trucks. Just the potential explosion that happens in every action movie has one.
Yeah.
You never know. 847, what are you terrified of? Celery.
Celery?
Yes, it's all caps. Celery. It's like kryptonite, they say. Celery. Terrified of it.
Everything tastes like celery when celery's around it. You know what I mean? It
Interesting.
takes over, like the cutting board, the knife, the plate. Like your carrots start tasting like celery. It's like, come on.
Interesting.
The only thing that can kill it is ranch.
Oh, watch out. Man, ain't it the truth? Mm-hmm. What am I afraid of? 615, I have omphalophobia, which means I'm terrified of my belly button.
I hate belly buttons.
Belly buttons, yeah, there you go. What are you terrified of? 815, my cat. My cat Stewie is a badass. Terrified of my cat. I like that.
Yeah.
630, I'm terrified of being possessed by demons. Sure. Yeah, who among us? Right, not bad. Let's see. I am terrified of the silica gel packets.
Well, they say do not eat.
Wait,
Do
the
not
ones
eat.
like in everything?
Yeah, it's like, oh, don't eat it. They'll be randomly in there.
Yeah.
You're like always afraid you might eat one.
Right?
I'm saying, did this touch my finger for too long? Do I have to scrub it up my
Right.
hands?
What am I terrified of? Open drains, 630. And like big holes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something like it. Like, they're down, everything floats down here.
Kind
of
down, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
708, I'm terrified of sock monkeys. Sure. I get that. Why not? And finally, what am I terrified of? Dark water. Can't see what's in there. Ugh. Oh, and also 773 butterflies. So lots of options to be terrified of. They're unpredictable.
That's it. They flutter all around, and you're like, whoa.
They flutter by the butterfly.
I know.
You got to be careful. That's what you're terrified of. Snoop Dogg continues to be terrified of horses.
From Chicago to your device, this is the Morning Mix Podcast.
Having a couple of cocktails. You decided to do a little shopping. Now, a woman was recently arrested for doing this in West Virginia. She went into TJ Maxx, appeared to be a little splashed whiskers. The staff there said, we should probably call the police on this one. Then she went next door to Old Navy and they found her in Old Navy. And she's like, I was just looking because I wanted to get denim. I'm looking for denim.
She's at the right place.
What's the deal?
She's at least had that much sense,
Yeah,
you know?
And then they said, well, we don't have denim, but we do have a jumpsuit. Get to jail. They arrested.
Oh my gosh.
That's what happened. We got a text here. My wife and I went to dinner, and we had way too much wine, and we knew we couldn't drive, so we decided to walk it off at the mall, and she bought a pair of Christian Louboutins.
Wow.
Oh, man.
That's great.
Also, very responsible of you. I appreciate that. And then also at the end, you're like, wow. But I feel like right away you get the come down. You're like, what did we just do?
It was
totally.
a win for the wife.
Right.
I wonder if that was her plan all the while.
Yes.
Yeah, you can only make one responsible decision a night. Like
that's
they
it.
decided to walk, and they bought the shoes.
And then they got irresponsible with it. Hey, Erica, good morning.
Good morning.
You had a few cocktails and you ordered a little something. What was it?
I did, it was just this past Friday, so they haven't come in yet. But I was Facebook targeted, and after I had a couple of these tall boys hard seltzer, it was from a fundraiser at school, so it was for the children. But then I was at home going through my phone, and then boom, a sweatshirt comes up and says, I'm a delight. And I'm like, yes, love this. Love this sweatshirt. It's like fall. And I ordered 3 of them, all in the same size, and they're on their way.
Are they different colors?
No, they're all olive green. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll just find. I've got friends and sisters. We'll be fine.
Yeah,
I'll wear it.
You sound like a delight.
I really feel like I am. I don't know if everyone thinks I am, especially when I'm drinking, but that spoke to me, and I had to get 3 immediately.
I love it. No, she's got delights in her life, so there's going to be plenty of people she can give this to.
Delight is what we were going to call this station for a little while, and we realized, we can't do that. There's already one of those. All right, Erica has 3 I'm a Delight sweatshirts, because you know what? I am. So why not? All right, now let's pop over to Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
Hello, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Now, you had a few cocktails and did a little shopping, is that right?
Yes, I was out to lunch with my girlfriend and our 2 daughters, who are also best friends. And we were at this bougie restaurant, and we got these cocktails with, like, a shot in, like, a pipette, like these, like, plastic pipettes that people use in lavatories to, like, drop little tiny droppers, like little tiny droppers.
Mm-hmm.
So my girlfriend and I are like, we are absolutely making these drinks, and we have to get the pipette.
Right.
So at lunch, we ordered lavender to infuse our gin for the for the gin, and then we ordered the pipettes, and the box came from Amazon 3 days later, late by the way, and it was 5,000 pipettes.
Whoa! That's a lot of pipettes.
Going to business.
If any high school teachers out there need some pipettes, I have a box of them in my garage still.
Have you used any of them to make the cocktail?
Zero. The box has not even been opened. I actually didn't even know what it was at first. And I was like, what did I buy?
Yes.
And then my girlfriend's like, oh my gosh, I got lavender delivered to my house.
You
Like
guys
dried
split up the
lavender.
order.
And
I
I'm
love
like,
it.
I got the pipettes. We're going to do this. We haven't done it.
Haven't
That was
done it
like
yet.
Haven't done
a
it.
year ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. Hey, you order the lavender.
Yeah.
I'll order the pipettes.
There is a song about these 2 named Ladies Who Lunch. The
Ladies
things
Who
you
Lunch.
don't listen. You guys, this is perfect.
The old drunk purchase. Hi, Danielle. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, when you're drunk in haze, you were thinking of other people. You were thinking about Dad. What did you order for Dad?
I ordered a Nutrisystem for my dad. He had asked me, and I kept forgetting. So one night after I had a few glasses of wine, I ordered it, and I put in the wrong email for him. I ordered a lot of extra food, and then completely forgot about it the next day.
He's like, what am I doing with
Yeah.
this? What do I do with this? And she's like, I have no idea. Where'd that come from? Oh, wait a second. Me. And finally, hi, Vicky. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing all right, Vicky. You sound a little relaxed. So you had some cocktails, and what'd you buy?
Well, I'm not a drinker, so we'll keep that in mind.
Nobody is. Nobody is.
So my husband and I were sitting outside, and we were drinking, and he passed out. And before he passed out, he said, "Oh, my back hurts so bad." And I said, "Oh, I'm thinking, when you're drinking, you're not thinking logically."
And I thought, I'm going to order him a hot tub. So I ordered a hot tub online.
What?
And it came the very next day. I ordered it online. It was from a local hot tub dealer. And it came the very next day. And I'm like, holy crap, I ordered a $5,000 hot tub.
Whoa!
And,
$5,000?
Yes, we only used it a few times because, you have to shower, then you get in the hot tub, you got to shower again. It's too much work.
Oh, my gosh. That's a lot.
$5,000.
$5,000. Did you end up selling it?
No, I had buyer's remorse, and now I've just got to drain it and leave it for the winter, and it takes up so much room on my patio, so I regret buying it.
Oh, my
what
goodness.
What a story. It started with, I don't drink, to somebody passed out, to a hot tub showing up the next day.
You're listening to the Morning Mix podcast.
Uncommon nightmares. I had one last night. Now, just very weird. It was right when I woke up. In the nightmare, I'm at some weird fancy restaurant where they do weird stuff at the table. They brought out a blobby thing for dessert. They injected it with chocolate sauce, and then they put whipped cream in a lady's mouth. And she smiled at me and spit it all over the dish. And then they gave me enjoy, bub. And they walked away. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this. Then I woke up. Very confused. I don't know what it means for my life, but somebody said it was probably the Chinese food you had last night. We got a text.
Like the MSG.
Yeah,
something like that. It'd be
it makes you
terrible.
go wacko.
219. Yeah, it was the Chinese food you ate last night. Could have been. I don't know. Nightmares happen, though. And they're very uncommon from time to time. Hi, Emily. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
We're all right. You had an uncommon nightmare?
Well, okay, so this would happen to me in childhood. Growing up, it was a repetitive nightmare.
Oh, interesting.
And I had an irrational fear of E.T. I was so terrified that my mom had to break the VHS in front of me when I was 5, physically break it. And so I would be chased in different scenarios, and the last time, and he was violently running at me. But
kind of waddling quickly, right?
Yeah.
You didn't really have long feet.
Exactly.
You'd have to be like, ah!
But, so I know that's not very uncommon, but then the one time I had the nightmare, and it was so intense, and my mom was with me, and we were running around we used to call it the Big Red, the minivan in our backyard, and she looks at me, and she goes, this is the last time. And I woke up, and I never had that nightmare again.
Whoa, so your mom infiltrated your dream to protect you. A mother's
I don't
love,
know,
you guys.
but,
A mother's love.
Sure.
It has
Yeah.
no bounds. Unreal.
I know.
E.T. would
so
chase
that's
her
just
around.
A little, yeah.
That's so weird. Just his little waddly legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
E.T. catch Emily. Like, what?
Damn.
Terrifying.
He went home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't like that. He went home. He sure did. Hi, Kaylee. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
You had a nightmare, Kaylee. What was it?
I did, and it actually happened last night for me as well.
Look at us living in nightmare land together. Come on.
Did you also have Chinese food?
Did you eat Chinese food last night?
So I had a nightmare. I'm super extremely afraid of spiders. I had a nightmare last night that there were these 3 spiders that were talking to each other, and I guess one of the spiders was an apprentice of the other 2. It ended up eating I don't know. It ended up eating the other 2 spiders, and then it bit me, and it started biting everyone in the town and slowly killing them in their sleep. And then I woke up and I was terrified.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. I like that they're in a town for some reason. Where am I? What is going on?
Walk into a bar.
Oh, yeah,
and
then they ate me.
What? Killed the town.
Okay, so there we go. Kaylee with the spiders. Hey, Leah, good morning.
Well, good morning.
Boy, you had a survival story on your hands, but what happened in the nightmare?
Yeah, it was wild. Actually, the dream itself lasted a week, but it was only 2 hours in real time, so it got quite intense and detailed. But the long and short of it was my kids and I were on a plane flight. The plane flight crashed. We survived, but we sought refuge in the nearby house, which happened to be the house of a mind-reading vampire that was trying to keep us all captive.
Yeah, I think this is coming to Hallmark this
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah.
This fall coming to
It
Hallmark.
could have been a movie.
Right. She'll survive with her children, but will they survive vampires? Oh, this is interesting. All right, so that had a lot of layers to it.
Yeah.
That's like a Stephen King. It just kept going.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, Anna. Hi, Anna. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you guys?
Fine. I'm just reading the short synopsis of your nightmare, and it's hilarious. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I don't mean to make light of your nightmare. What was your nightmare?
So So I was in an elevator. Let me preface this. I am not a businesswoman by any means. I work in healthcare.
Okay.
So I'm dressed up, ready to go for work in my dream, and I'm in this elevator. I go up to the top floor of the elevator, and I'm walking out the doors. As soon as the doors open, everyone I ever knew turned into characters from Mario, like the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I open the doors, and I'm freaking out because all of a sudden my family and my friends, everyone turned into Mario characters. And I have no idea why. I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. And I love Mario, don't get me wrong, but it was terrifying.
Well, who hasn't had this one?
Come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got E.T. chasing you. We got 3 spiders. A lady survives a plane crash and lives with a vampire. But if you want an uncommon nightmare, everybody you know turning into Mario?
And it's terrifying.
You're terrified. Were they all just looking at each other like, it's me, your brother?
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Pretty much. And I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, what is happening? And I woke up terrified. I woke up like in tears, like, my whole family's Mario. What happened?
No!
I have no idea what it means.
From Chicago to your device, this is the Morning Mix Podcast.
Out there taking that driving test. You want to have your own license. That's your key to freedom. You get that license and you can go to the McDonald's drive-thru alone. What a joy. But maybe you failed the test. There's a man trying to get his license in Belgium. He failed the test 12 times and then decided to hire a body double, which was not a good idea. They got caught and arrested for fake identity. That's what they said. You're trying to pose as someone else. Identity fraud is the word. You can't do that. This is a government facility, you fool. But how many times did it take you to take the driving test? Hi, Ashley. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Not so bad, but Ashley, your boyfriend has really been trying to get that driver's license, huh?
It's actually my best friend.
Oh, your best friend. I'm sorry, I just said BF.
Yeah,
Shame
no,
on me
that's
for my
okay.
assumption. So your best friend sucks at driving?
Not so much driving, but the written portion of the test. She has failed more than 12 times.
Oh, my. 12.
You said has. This is ongoing?
Yes. She still does not have it.
That is unbelievable. So she's about to go in for number like 13 or 14 to try to get through?
It might be even higher than that, honestly.
May I ask how old she is?
She is 32.
32. Never had a license before?
Never.
Okay. Does she live in the city, like never needed it, or just never wanted it?
So she actually lives in Nevada.
Okay.
We met when I lived out there. The crazy part is you're allowed to have the book with you when you take the written test.
It's an open book test?
And she still can't pass it. I'm like, how?
Oh, my God. Oh, no.
That is hilarious.
You're listening to the Morning Mix Podcast.
Apparently, there are lookalikes all over the place that you can hire for parties, or you can pay them to do things on the internet, because there's a woman named Giovanna Lautier who looks so much like Gal Gadot. She is doing Wonder Woman lookalike content and makes $100,000 per month, she says. Per month.
How lucky is she that she looks like her,
Right.
and that there's 2 people that look that gorgeous?
That gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's
She
crazy.
had to quit her modeling job.
Yeah, watch
I mean,
out.
that's a
Yeah.
bummer.
I looked her up, and it all checks out. It all
Yeah.
checks out. We did watch that new Gal Gadot action movie, Heart of Stone, on
Yeah.
Netflix, and I fell asleep halfway through it. And then I woke up, didn't miss a beat, so it was worth it.
All right.
Go give it a look.
Good.
Yeah, you can kind of phase in and out of that one, and the plot is right there for you. Do you look like somebody, or you have hired a lookalike for a party? Hey, Penny, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
We're doing all right. So, Penny, are you the lookalike, or have you hired the lookalike?
I am not the lookalike. I hired a person to come to my child's birthday party. She was 5 at the time. This was a few years back. So she was excited. All the kids were excited. It was supposed to be a Barbie. And she looked like Barbie, kind of, sort of, had a great little body, whatever, had a pretty dress on. I can't remember if it was a wig or her real hair, but the adults were quite surprised when the lady that came was probably like 60, 70 years old.
Oh, she was
Hi,
getting old
kid.
Barbie.
Yeah.
What do you kids
got a light?
Barbie needs to take a break.
I'm the original.
Yeah.
I was there at the
Kinda,
beginning.
sorta.
Hey, Ma, do you have any Galliano in the kitchen? Barbie needs a little cocktail.
The kids did seem a
a little traumatized, but it all went well. The adults were having a little fun with it, though.
There's got to be a lesson there somewhere.
Yeah, there's gotta be,
age,
right?
age knows no beauty.
It really
or
doesn't.
Vice versa. Beauty knows no age. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, you're having a little party. The kids are all excited. Hey, guess who's here? Barbie. What do you kids want to help me down the steps?
More like Barbara.
Yeah, Barbara.
Babs.
Definitely Barbara.
I think, big Babs there.
Yeah, I think.
Come on down, Babs.
I think so. But just the visual of Grandma Babs coming down. I kind of like it, you know?
Testing 1 2 1 2. Sound check. Sound check. This is Nikki's Sound Check on the Morning Mix.
Lots of love today. In fact, a new song all about love coming up in just a second. But first, Katy Perry. You know, all of us, we all love money. A little bit, right?
Yeah. She's got some love songs.
She's got now she also has $225 million.
Love that.
Because she sold her catalog. She's, part of that whole movement.
Oh, yeah.
So she sold it to Litmus Music. It's one of these private equity companies that do stuff. It sounds like her former label boss kind of runs it, so there are some ties. But I had to look this up. I'm like, okay, why do these private equity things want to buy these catalogs?
What are they going to do with it?
Here's kind of one definition I found. It's commercially proven songs that resonate throughout pop culture. So, for example, they bought Firework. They bought the one album that has California Girls, Firework, E.T., Last Friday Night, Teenage Dream. From now on, anytime you hear those, I think they get all the money. She does not, right?
That makes sense. It's just like an upfront cash payment to her for any potential use of her stuff. And they're like, we're selling this to everybody.
Well, and especially something like Firework, they're like, easy cheesy. We're going to earn all of our money just from that song alone. You know what I mean?
Now,
exactly.
Does she stand long term to lose money on this? You know what I'm saying? Like, in 50 years, could she have made $400 million if she had kept it?
I mean, but my point does exactly.
At
In 50 years doesn't matter.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
They're
probably
gonna,
have it in hand, right?
And they're probably going to take that and then market it to
Right.
be used more. Where she's like, if it gets used, great, I get paid.
Right.
But she doesn't have the time or energy or resources to make sure it gets used.
And they're all doing this. Even the most 60s hippie, anti-money, the Bob Dylans, the Bruce Springsteens, all of them, they're all doing this now, along with Timberlake and everybody. So somebody has figured out that I am sure this is a win.
Hey, it's funny you mentioned Timberlake, by the way. Yeah, he's another one.
He did
made
that,
a
right?
cajillion, made a $1 billion. And then I love this. So NSYNC, they got together on stage and stood there at the Video Music Awards. We're all real excited about it, which, again, was even Taylor. She was freaking out. So everyone's like, okay, is there going to be a reunion tour? Is there going to be an album? And they keep saying no. But then there's always the doors opening and closing. So there was one quote from JC who was like, hey, anything is possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Regarding a tour.
Like Kevin Garnett.
He hopes so.
Exactly. And then Lance was like, hey, they were both caught at the same time and given similar quotes about this idea.
Okay.
Lance said, if you want to see the band reunite, you have to support the strike. If you want to see them reunite on a tour or an album, you need the writers to get back. So that was his take on it. And then my favorite one is sources say Justin Timberlake is like, no, there's not going to be a tour. He's doing a solo tour, supposedly. So
he's the one who doesn't need it.
I
Right.
don't know why. I'm so over this NSYNC. I don't care. And I love NSYNC. They were my first concert I ever went to. But they're not getting back together. And if they do, great. Then tell me when it happens. But what's with all the fake hype?
I think just because they have, something to talk about.
Trolls deal, right? It's the Trolls deal.
It's perfect timing for Trolls because all of us that bought tickets, now we're taking our kids to see Trolls.
You
it's
guys,
perfect.
and they can't promote the movie.
Right.
So this is a way to promote the
only way to do
movie without promoting the movie.
Ain't that the truth?
So anyway, Justin Timberlake does have a new album coming out apparently, though, next year. So that'll be exciting.
Oh.
And he'll be planning a big U.S. tour. So that's kind of the one takeaway from all of this hype of are they, aren't they, whatever. He's like, no, but I'm doing a solo thing. Get ready.
Let's hope he got out of the woods because that last album was a clunker.
No, I think,
Super Bowl.
You got that already thing out. Now let's bring it back
Give
in.
us Justified too. That's all we want.
All right, and then so if I were to ask you guys, when's the last time Sia put out a full length original album?
1983.
Do you think her friends taunt her by saying Sia wouldn't want to be it? A. B, 2014.
Very close, Whip.
2011.
Whip was the closest. It was actually 2016. That's where Alive, Cheap Thrills, and then she had that Christmas album, so we'll kind of count 17.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But as far as an actual brand new stuff, and basically everything we play by Sia has been out forever.
Mm-hmm.
We just keep getting recycled or sampled, or it's been a project with someone. But her own actual full length release is going to happen next year.
Okay, because I see a new one in here.
Yes. Oh God. I fell right for that. I got to go.
The Morning Mix Flash Briefing with Violetta.
So we have some celebrity drama out there. Halle Berry is not happy with Drake. So she called out the rapper after he used a picture of her without her permission. So Drake used a 2012 picture of Halle covered in green slime from Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. That's part of his new single out called Slime You Out featuring SZA. All of this is just playing out online because Halle Berry's like, listen, I'm mad because he asked me. I said no, and then he did it anyway. So why ask me?
Yeah, what a butthead.
I know. So everybody is just like, kind of they were mad at her first, like, take a joke, who cares, you're on this. And it's a Getty image, so a lot of other people saying you don't own it. She's like, I know, if he used it and didn't ask, I wouldn't care, but why ask me and then go against my wishes?
Yeah.
So that is unfolding online. Pick your side.
Wicket.
I know, but she looks great in that picture.
Yeah, even with the slime.
I know.
Good for the slime.
Next up, we have entered bar season. I think this trending audio is amazing. Take a listen yourself.
The rest of the months are for bars. September, October, November, December.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
And we are celebrating the first out of the 4 months with the Boz, V's Mixology. You can join us on Friday. We have another Friday featured cocktail coming up, and now we have a reason to really do it.
Okay.
And I love the Hamilton vibes.
It really was.
That's why I'm I want to go see that and drink.
Okay. I like that.
Putting it all together for us. Lastly, just announced a Haunted Mansion cocktail party is coming to Chicago this week. It is kicking off this weekend on Saturday, September 23rd, and happening at a mansion that was converted into the International Museum of Surgical Science.
Oh, right.
Gross and creepy. That's near Old Town, Gold Coast area, and it's going to be decked out really creepy for the Halloween season. They're going to have live performances. A mini cocktail tasting is included in your ticket, and it's all kicking off this weekend, but it's going for the entire spooky season.
I went to that place on a field trip
You
once.
did?
Yeah,
Really?
It was really interesting and exactly as you'd say, just bizarre and weird.
And then they're making it even more bizarre and weird now
well,
with
it's a
this
perfect
pop-up.
place for it.
Right?
Yeah.
Very neat.
So go check that out. That's your flash briefing.
All right, thank you for joining us for the Morning Mix podcast. Make sure you rate, review, like, and follow this podcast. You can also follow us on social at 1019 Mix Chicago. And we will see you tomorrow on the Morning Mix.